Well, what is up, guys? Welcome on back to another 2025 NFL mock draft. And if your first time here, if it's your first time here, welcome. If I feel a little weird, I'm kind of under the weather a little bit. I don't know if I'm getting sick or not, but anyway, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. If you've never seen one of these, I do these mock drafts as if I'm sitting in the GM chair. I pick players for the team on which I would kind of choose for them. I'm not trying to predict what they're going to do. There's no real need to me in doing that. I think it's more fun picking, mocking for what you would do for that team, and then kind of seeing how things fall in place. I think it's kind of interesting. But anyway, without further ado, and I do use here this Pro Football and Sports Network. Sorry, I'm not feeling good, but pretty good site if you guys want to do it, and it's got this multiplayer thing here, which I think is interesting. I might do one off recording and then maybe do one just to show you guys, but I don't know. Let's go slow here just in case I kind of babble on. Anyway, let's enter the draft and go. I think this is the first year that every team has owns their first round pick, which I think is pretty cool. First year in a while anyway. If you hear me sipping something, sorry, it's some coffee, so my throat doesn't get too crazy. But anyway, with the first pick, if I'm Tennessee needs to just kind of stack up on talent there. I think they're kind of a team that's starting to go up on the rise here, and if I'm the Titans, I'm going to be honest with you. I personally don't love Cam Ward for the first pick. I don't think he's bad. But I don't think he's first, top of the draft worthy, really. I think he's a guy that can go somewhere and kind of learn. I'm a Hurricanes fan. I watched him every week. I think he's got a lot of kind of learning to do, and I think his ego's a little big for kind of what he's done, and that's not a bad thing. I don't mind my quarterback having an ego or whatever, but I honestly don't think his ceiling's all that high. I'm going to be honest. As far as physically, the guy they have now, Will Levis, is a higher ceiling. I just don't know if Will Levis is as smart as Cameron Ward as far as on the field and reading defenses and things like that. I just don't see the need of grabbing Ward I think they need to give Will Levis another year, but I guess that's why I'm not in the GM seat of any NFL team. And more importantly than that, I think there's other players that will affect this team in a positive way more than Cam Ward. I don't think Cam Ward will come in and be a star right away in the NFL. I just don't see it. And I also, like I said, I don't think his ceiling's all that high. I actually think Sanders' ceiling's higher, but that's a whole nother debate. Cameron Ward's fine. I'm not. He's probably going to go number one. I would not grab him there. I'm going to tell you right now who the best player in this draft is. The best player in the draft, and I would grab, is Jalen Walker. He's to me just as good of a pass rusher as Abdul Carter. He's just as good. Abdul Carter to me is a little bit small, and I do think Abdul Carter is going to be great. I just think Jalen Walker is a game-changing player. He can play every position. You can put him as a defensive end. You can put him as a linebacker. He's going to come in right away and be the focal point and a player you can build a defense around. So I think he's kind of almost not he might be a generational player. Everything I've seen of him, he's got no weaknesses. He's really literally that good. I'm watching who I absolutely love. Where is he at? This has changed. Man, this guy's moving up. Someone who came in and said, he was overrated or whatever. He's moving up. Oh, Michael Williams, who's excellent, by the way. Excellent player. Every time I watch Michael Williams highlights, he's tackling the quarterback after he's already gotten to him, and he's a linebacker. So Jalen Walker, I think, can be a Pro Bowl middle linebacker. He can be a Pro Bowl 34 outside linebacker. He can probably be a really good 43 end. I just think Walker is a guy that if you draft him, he's a home run hit. He's one of the few home run hits in this draft. But anyway, Cleveland Browns. If I'm the Browns, I need to move on from Deshaun Watson, to be honest. And I think the Browns are in a situation where they can pick a quarterback here, and they're talented enough to really do some good things. God, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm just got a lot of shit in my head. Sorry, this is dripping down. God, Lord, please excuse me. But probably shouldn't be doing this, to be honest. But if I'm the Browns, I'm grabbing Sanders here. I think Sanders is, not that I think he's better than Ward or whatever. I do like Sanders a lot. I just think Sanders would fit Cleveland better. I just think he would fit that team better. That's all. I'd say this is a fit pick more than a, hey, I think he's better than Ward pick. I think they're both about the same. Sanders is a little bit better as far as being able to, excuse me. Dissect the defense. I think he's more of a kind of a Tua type player, and I like Sanders a lot. I don't think any one of those two guys are franchise changers, to be honest. But if there's a franchise changing quarterback out of the two, I think eventually it'll be Sanders. I think he can come in and just kind of manage the games, and they've got so much talent. They've got so much talent there, as far as like their linemen and their defense and everything like that. So I don't know if I would go Carter here if I'm them. I think I would just go quarterbacks. I think they can afford to kind of miss on one because of the talent they have. They need to really focus on their cap and figure out who's going to be the base of this team moving forward, because they're going to have some decisions to make. So I think Sanders would be a good move for them, or Ward. I would get Sanders or Ward. I just happen to prefer Sanders over Ward a little bit. But yeah, you can put either one of these two guys there. Even Travis Hunter, you can put Travis Hunter there as well. The Giants are in a weird spot. I don't know. Did they get? I'm trying to think if they got anybody at quarterback. I don't think that they did. Yeah, Sam Darnold's gone. I think that one of the best spots for this guy here would be here at the Giants. This is a tough decision, because I'm going to be blunt. I'll probably end up taking Ward here just because they need a quarterback, and if he works out, they'll look good. I don't know if Ward will work out, but I think Ward would be good there. But it's really tough to pass up on these two guys. I just think these two guys are going to be better NFL players. It's just, I mean, if you're going as far as, I even think he's going to be a better NFL player. Well, I don't know. Mason Graham, I'm on the fence about him. As far as like being a big time impact guy, the Giants, I mean, they just need a quarterback so badly. They almost have to take one. I mean, if I'm in the GM seat, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to, but we kind of have to. I'm grabbing Ward here reluctantly, because I don't think Ward is a game-changing guy. Now, I do think that Ward could be that with Malik Neighbors. I think Neighbors can make him look really good. And I do think with Brian Daboll, Ward could actually get have his talents really shine there. So I wouldn't be mad at picking this if I'm the GM here, but I would be on board saying, yeah, these two guys would have been better if we would have prepared better for as far as that position goes, to be honest. But with that being said, so we have two quarterbacks that probably should not go over in any other draft. Wouldn't be this high, like literally in any other draft in the last like 5 years, except maybe the one where Pickett went in. But any other draft, these guys wouldn't be top 10. They just would not be. Sorry, they're not stars. They're probably good starters, but they're not going to be. Sanders could be. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Ward throws off his back foot. He walks backwards, and he doesn't even run back on as far as his dropbacks. He plays very nonchalant, very very like kind of big ego. I don't see that in Sanders. I know some people were saying he's got like an ego and he's brash and all that. I don't mind that as long as you're not playing that way. Cam Ward plays like that to me. If I showed you some highlights, you would be kind of surprised, I think. Anyway, and I watched him every game this year. I watched him every single game. He was good on the Canes. He was very good on the Hurricanes, and he made some good throws. I don't think his arm is like overly spectacular, but I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong on him. I just see him as a low ceiling guy. I see both of these guys as low ceiling, and the reason why I don't see him as low ceiling, if they expand their game and they're mentally, and if they're elite mentally, they can be very good. But who knows if they are? I don't know. I've never interviewed them. So anyway, I would take these two guys here just because they're teams that need quarterbacks. One can kind of afford to whiff on one, I think, and the other one, they just didn't prepare for anything else. They literally prepared for nothing else. All right, the Patriots, they're doing some good things in free agency from what I've seen, and they're in a really, really good spot here. I mean, they're in the best spot probably of just about any team. They have kind of the pick of the litter as far as really good players go. The Patriots, I just think they need to get a kick in the pants. They got a quarterback that seems like he's going to be the real deal, and I'm grabbing Hunter here. But you can grab Abdul Carter here. That's Carter, Graham, Campbell, whoever. I mean, they got the pick of the litter here. But I grab Hunter here. I grab Hunter. I just think that the the Patriots, a player like this is good for them. They could use a good receiver. They could use a good corner. They could use them situationally, however they want to use them. So, and they bring some excitement there. They haven't had like a really explosive player in a long time there. And all right, Jacksonville. Defensive tackle, tight end, corner, tackle, wide receiver. There's no receivers worth taking up here. I think he's overrated. He's big, but he's slow. He's probably going to be decent, but he's big and he's slow. We do have Carter still sitting right there. Tight end, corner, tackle, wide receiver. Is that really their needs? I wish I can kind of click and see their roster. Can I click on them? No. So yeah, I wish I could see their roster. I don't know what their roster looks like at the moment. This is a tough pick because you got Carter sitting right there. I mean, you can really, really bolster that defense up. I don't know what they've done in free agency. I'm gonna assume that this is what they need. I don't know if they need a defensive tackle. You know what? Teams like this, from what I've seen of their defense, they'd be better off as a 43, and I think they run a 34. I think they run a 34 defense. Let me double check that. Jaguars defensive scheme. That's actually very important. That's very important. So they run a multiple. They run a multiple defense, which they can run 34 or 43. All right, so that opens things up. They run a multiple defense. I just think Abdul Carter's very he's very good at what he does, but I think he's very his skill set's not limited, but he's mainly a pass rusher. Like if Jalen Walker was here, I think Jalen Walker would be a really good fit here, but they need offensive line. It's hard to pass up on linemen. This draft's got good linemen at the top. So I'm going to probably go in that direction. And I'm going to grab M'Bu, who I think is not necessarily better than Campbell, but I think he's more versatile. And I would grab M'Bu. He's got a lot of potential. I think he'd be really good. But like I said, if you think Mason Graham or Abdul Carter is the better pick, that's fine. I'm not going to argue there. But if I'm sitting in the GM seat, they need a tackle, and one's sitting right there, just go grab him. And Abdul Carter, I don't think is a defensive fit for that team. I just don't think that he is. They've got like almost all of their best defensive players are players that are like him, who are kind of just like linebackers who can blitz and shit. They got some good linebackers and stuff there. They don't need Carter there. If they grab him, no problem with it. Abdul Carter's he's gonna be excellent, so I have no problem with that. The Raiders, I think I've had them get JT in the past. The more I look at this running back field, So I think JT is going to be the guy that drops in the draft just because the other running backs in this draft are really good. They're going to sit back and go, why would we get JT? We can go grab the guy from North Carolina in the second round. I mean, why would they do that? So the Raiders. Oh, their number one need is fucking corner. Are you serious? Shit. If I'm the Raiders, I'm just gonna grab. I would grab Graham here. I'd grab Graham, stick a C on his chest, put him next to Christian Wilkins. I think that'd be nice. We can put Carter there too. Abdul Carter. Offensive line tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver, tight end. Everybody needs offensive linemen. Of course they do. Tight end, quarterback. I think the Jets are they're in the business of getting impact players who can come in and do good right away. And I'm grabbing Carter here. I'm not even letting them drop anymore. Abdul Carter for their, I don't know what defense they're going to run. He can put his hand on the ground at 43. He can be an outside linebacker, 34. I think he can play. Yeah, I think he's got the ability to play outside linebacker in a 43. I think he can go out and cover and blitz and gaps and things like that. I think he'd be really nice there. But Abdul Carter doesn't drop anymore. And I would grab him here for the Jets just because I think the Jets just need fucking players. They need to get players that actually make a goddamn impact. All right. Again, excuse me for my voice and everything. So the Panthers corner, center, oh Jesus, safety, edge, wide receiver. I don't know if I'm going to go any of those directions with them. See, I wish I could click on the Panthers and see their lineup, because I don't know what their roster looks like. Let me look at it real quick. Panthers roster. Panthers.com. Let's go. I want to see the roster real quick, guys, before I start making team. There it is. They don't say roster, they say team. Okay. That's why you suck. We got Basham, Bobby Brown, Jones. They got some players in the agency. Position. Let's go position here. They've got J.C. Horn. I don't know if they need to grab one now. They're a defensive end, so they run a 34 defense. Okay. That says a lot. I know they don't need a defensive tackler in. They've got a million of them. They really don't. They're putting together a nice little team. I think they need linemen, it looks like. Which everybody needs linemen because no one fucking focuses on their line, and their line's, getting their shit kicked out of them constantly. They need linebacker. They need linebacker badly, actually. Yeah, I think they could use a pass rusher. They don't need a quarterback. I think they don't need a quarterback. They don't need a running back. That they don't need. They've got 2 safeties under contract right now. Okay. Holy shit, they actually could use receiver. They could use receiver, to be honest. They don't need I don't think they need to reach for a corner. Not that he's a reach. They don't need to grab a corner here. Budge. All right, if I'm them, I actually really like this guy. I'm going to grab Golden here. I think he's the better all-around receiver than McMillan. Looking at their roster, they do need a receiver. They don't really have any. Xavier Legette's about really all they got. They don't have much else in receiver. Looking at their roster, to be honest. So that's kind of where I would go. You could easily go Michael Williams there. But I do think they need a receiver. I actually like him a lot as a receiver. I like him a lot. And he's a perfect guy to come in and be someone that oh god, what the hell's his name again? Quarterback. Bryce Young can throw to. But anyway. Alright guys. Let me double check what he ran real quick. Golden. Matthew Golden. Yeah, he ran 4.29 seconds. What I like about Golden over McMillan is he's kind of, he looks more like an NFL receiver to me. He ran a 4.29 He's one of the more polished receivers in the league. Let's see what they say about him here just so you can see. The most well-rounded receiver prospect. Yeah, from what I've seen, he's a very good route runner, very crisp route runner. He looks like the guy that'll work out in the NFL. When I see McMillan, he's not necessarily bad. He just looks big and slow to me. He just looks kind of slow. And I think that, like, when you see Bryce Young's more of a kind of an accurate passer, and he was really successful throwing to receivers about his size. He wasn't throwing like massive receivers, not a lot of them, but I just think that'd be a nice fit there. I think Golden's better than people think he is, and I think that Golden might be the first receiver taken. But we'll see how the draft goes. The draft is weird. All right, the Saints. Guard, receiver, corner, edge, running back. The Saints have a lot to pick from here. They need a guard. The problem is I don't like drafting someone like a Will Campbell and just throwing him at guard. I don't know what their roster's like, if they can put someone else in size. Yeah, if he's got an upright blocking stance, which makes him really, really bad for even putting him in at guard. To be honest, I personally, I'd probably pass up on him. I would consider Janty here, believe it or not. But I think the Saints kind of are in the position. If I'm the GM, that I think they need to kind of start rebuilding a little bit. To be honest, I don't think that they're really should be kind of, you know, drafting a player like JT. So that's kind of why I would pass up on that. They do need an edge. They need a receiver. McMillan wouldn't be a terrible pick here. Ooh, Shamir Stewart. Is he the guy that... Why is he moving up so much? I mean, I like him, but he's... Look. Look. I'm going to tell you something about Shamir Stewart, guys. He had 1.5 sacks. He had 1.5 sacks last year, okay? When you watch him, he looks like a caged animal. He is not polished at all. Like, at all. I guess you can pick him if you're a team that's not really trying to get someone who's going to make a massive impact right away. I think he's physically dominant. He's the best as far as, like, physically, of all the pass rushers, probably. He's physically, like, incredible. He wasn't productive. He has a hard time getting off of blocks. If I'm an NFL GM, I don't know if I think he'd be someone good to grab in the second round. I know that's kind of mind-blowing since everybody looks like they're putting him up really high. I don't see him being a top first-round pick. To be a first-round pick, needs to come in and be like an NFL, almost like a veteran, like play right away and come in and have good technique and everything like that. So Stewart's a project. He's physically dominant, but he's a project. So I don't know if I would go in that direction if I'm the Saints, to be blunt. Pierce, I think he's going to keep dropping in the draft. I don't like him much at all, to be honest, as far as coming in and being a first-round pick. Ugh. The low center of gravity. He can probably come in and play guard. I just think fit-wise, if you're going to go offensive line, Banks seems to be the better fit. You can go Booker here. As far if you just want the best guard, to go grab Tyler Booker. Edge. I love Michael Williams. I think he's really good getting off of blocks. Trying to think if he'd be a good fit there. Do they run a 43 there? I think they run a 34. I think they run a 34. What am I doing? I'm going to YouTube here. Saints. Yeah, I don't know what they're, I think they have a new coach, so I don't know what they run. Brandon Staley. Oh shit, okay, he runs a 34 defense. All right, so they run a 34 defense. So if they draft someone like a Michael Williams, he'll have to come off of the edge as far as a stand-up outside linebacker, which is fine for him. This is a tough one. This is a tough one because he fits them better. Stewart actually fits that better, to be honest. Stewart fits that significantly better. He's so physically dominant. He really is. I just don't know if he's worth drafting that high. I think in 2 years, we'll say, oh yeah, he was worth drafting that high. That's why I'm kind of struggling with this pick. This is a hard one. This is a tough pick. This is a tough pick. This will be a tough pick. Because I think they're in the position where they can't miss on players. Yeah, I would grab Will Johnson here. I think they're in a position of getting players they can't really miss on. And I do think Will Johnson will come in and be good right away. He's a very, very good player. He's really good. Don't sleep on him. He's really good. It's just, that's a tough pick, man. If you need guard and shit, it's a really tough pick. All right, tackle, running back. If I'm them, I'm just going to grab Campbell. Just grab Will Campbell. I'll be honest with you. He may not be the best tackle in the draft, or even available, but he's fine. He's fine. I would grab him. Or I would consider grabbing Jainty here, to be honest, for the Bears. I just think the Bears are in the business of protecting their franchise guy, and if they need a tackle, just grab the best one there. All right, 49ers. Defensive tackle, corner, linebacker, edge, guard. Jesus Christ. It's fucking Pete. Well, these teams, man, they all need too much. Like, what are we doing? And it's not even about this list here. You start going in your head over the rosters, and it's like, my God. It's like, what have you guys been doing? Harmon probably would make sense here. Another team that needs guards and fucking linebackers and corners. It's like, what are we doing? Everyone needs linebackers and corners because no one fucking takes care of that position. Which is extremely important. And you know what a problem in this draft is there's no great corners, like, really. This guy here I actually really like a lot. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna grab him here. I actually like him a lot. Barron, it just simply need. It's just simply they need that position. They really do. They need a guy who can come in and play right away. You can grab Jainty there. I would consider Jainty for the 49ers simply because their running back now gets a hard time staying healthy. And you can shore up that position, but I would consider it for about 3 seconds. I know they need a receiver. McMillan may not be a bad pick there. I think they need to keep showing up that defense and then grab offensive players later. I don't think they're in that kind of position. I don't think they need receiver more than they need to kind of start showing up their defense again. It's kind of that they have a good base of their defense. It's kind of starting to fall apart a little bit, and then just thinking to put pieces back together. But anyway, the Cowboys. The number one needs a running back. They have a running back right here, edge, guard, corner. I don't know if I would grab that there. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna sit down and have a talk with Parsons if he's willing to. Let's just assume he's willing to kind of mentor someone to make them better, which I think he would be. I would grab Stewart here. I'd grab Stewart here. Just have two physically dominant guys, and I think that with someone like Parsons getting double teamed and everything, Stewart could be productive in this defense pretty quickly. But I do think he's a project, and I think the Cowboys are rebuilding. They're going to have to rebuild, so they're kind of in a position to grab a guy who can be dominant. And what's the worst thing happens? By the time he gets dominant, they can move Parsons, or Parsons moves on. I don't think that'll happen, but Stewart's not a bad pick there, especially if he's moving up on the boards. You're not going to get him on the way back around. You could maybe, I don't even think you can trade down. I think Stewart's going to be picked fairly highly. Just because, like, he's Khalil Mack. If you look at it, he's just Khalil Mack. That's what he looks like to me, as far as physically. But anyway, the Dolphins. Guard, defensive tackle, offensive tackle, safety, linebacker. If I'm the Dolphins, I'm not drafting the safety here. Not that he's bad, but I just think they need so much else. And they really need to start shoring up that line. They've kind of done that in free agency. They got two guards, which tells me they're either going to go after tackle or corner. I wouldn't be mad if they drafted a corner. I like Josh Simmons for the Dolphins. I think he's kind of a plug-and-play guy. I think he can play guard, tackle. Without his injury, he'd be probably the first tackle taken. I think he might be the best offensive lineman in the draft when it's said and done, but it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Once projected as top offensive lineman in this draft, yes, he had knee surgery. So barring his knees okay, if that's the case, the Dolphins will be getting the best tackle in the draft at 13, which is fucking beautiful. All right. And if I'm them, I go offensive line. I really don't go anywhere else. I would pick one of the three big dogs available. I love Tyler Booker there too. But the reason why I didn't pick Booker here is because they signed two guards. And they've got Eichenberg, who was playing guard. So they re-signed Eichenberg. So they don't need to get a guard right now as far. They need tackles. They don't need guards right now, which I thought it was coming into the season. I thought would be the opposite, but they're showing up the offensive line. They're doing well. If they get a tackle here high, you'll see Tua play a lot better. His offensive line hasn't been good. Anyway, the Colts, tight end, center, guard, linebacker, quarterback. I think they need a quarterback. I think they need one badly. When I see linebacker, what linebacker do they need? They need like a Campbell, or do they need like a pass rusher? I think they're talking about like a actual middle linebacker. It says tight end here, but I don't know how useful that would be since they have a quarterback can't get him the ball. Let's look at the tight ends here. Damn it, man. They're at 14. I'm going to pass on a tight end here just because I think you might get Loveland later. And I'd grab Banks or Booker. If you need just a guard, I'd just grab Booker here. I like Booker a lot, actually. Not that I hate Banks. I think Banks is a pure tackle. That's why I think he needs to go to a specific team. But if I'm the Colts, I would just grab Booker here if they need a guard. I think he's a fucking no-miss prospect. He's 6'4", 321. I think that's small. I think he's more like 340. I've seen him listed at 350. But, yeah, Tyler Booker, if he needs a pure guard, I'd even maybe try him at center. See if he can be a good center. But the problem is mentally, the centers need to be like another level mentally. It's really hard to get a good center. It's really difficult to get one that's like a Kelsey or something like that. It's really hard to get one of those guys, but grab a guard. They might have a good center in this draft. I don't know. This guy Wilson. Who knows? I mean, this guy here could be the guy who knows. There is a guy actually that could play center. He was playing center really well. the fuck is he? Why is he not here? Is this guy out in guard now? Zabel right here. Zabel would be the guy, actually. Shit, I wish I could go back. Wish I could go back. I would probably grab Zabel here for them, to be honest. But I think that's high, because I think Zabel's very good, but he's an overachiever. So if Zabel drops down, definitely grab Zabel, but I don't know if he'll drop. I would pick Booker and try to move up into like the high point of the second round and grab Zabel. That's kind of what I would do if I'm them. And I think that would really shore up their offensive. They would have two, like, basically no miss guys there. I would just put Zabel at center and Booker at guard. I think you'll be okay there if that's what you want for your offensive line. If I'm the Colts, I'm really looking for another quarterback, but there's no one here to pick, so you're going to have to kind of stick it out another year with the other guy. All right, Falcons. Corner, defensive tackle, edge, safety, linebacker. This guy's too good to keep dropping. Just grab Michael Williams. Plug and play him. Plug and play him right off the bat. He's too good to drop. He's the best. He's the best pass rusher in this draft as far as getting off of blocks right now. The most polished one. He's the best one. That's where I think he shines. He's really good at getting off blocks, which is really tough to coach. All right, Cardinals. Edge, defensive tackle, wide receiver. Oh, here we go. Guard, line. Everybody needs the same fucking thing. I wouldn't grab Pierce. I wouldn't grab Scorton if I were them. Harmon's there. I like Harmon a lot. McMillan's an absolute choice there. Edge is so hard to get, though. That's the problem. Why is Mike Green dropping so much? Why is he dropping so fucking much? Oh, he's not very strong. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see why he's dropping. It's just his size and his strength. Okay. He just physically needs to grow a little more. Okay. So that's why he's dropping. It's not his. It's definitely not his ability. Because when I saw him at the I think it was the Senior Bowl, he was fucking like a man among boys as far as technique goes. I'm a shore up the line guy. I'm gonna shore up the defensive line and offensive line guy. They need a guard. Oh, fuck, everybody needs a goddamn guard. I would just grab Harmon here. I think he's plug and play him. I don't know if he'll be special, but I think he's a good starter. I think the Cardinals are in a weird spot because I think McMillan, he's overrated. McMillan wouldn't be a bad pick here. He just would not be if someone came in and said, hey, I would take McMillan with the Cardinals. I wouldn't argue there, to be honest. But if you're picking in the top 20, you need to pick players that are going to come in and just be really good right off the bat. I don't know if McMillan will be or not. He can be a star. From what I've seen, he's just tall. He's just tall and kind of slow. He doesn't look like a crisp route runner. He just has a lot of growing to do. It wouldn't be a bad pick there, but... All right, the Bengals, edge, defensive tackle, guard. Everybody needs the same fucking goddamn thing. Whee! All right, I'm not letting Starks drop anymore. Just grab Starks. They need a safety. And I think the Bengals... What I like about Starks to the Bengals is Starks is kind of a cerebral player. He's a smart guy. And I think they need players like that and get on the defense and just kind of plug and play them right away. They got Burrow and everything like that, an offensive-minded coach. I think Starks, it's almost like you're just signing a free agent, to be honest. I think he's that good upstairs. He's really, really good mentally, I think. So Starks, I think, would be a great fit there. All right, Seattle. Not just necessarily because of need, just because of... It's more of a need of putting a guy there and kind of come in and play right away and contribute. Seattle Seahawks. Guard, tackle, wide receiver. This is where McMillan could be a spot here. I just think Banks is too good to keep passing up. You need offensive linemen. They need a tackle. Just put Banks there. Tampa Bay. Corner, safety, edge, linebacker. Huh. The number one needs corner. Let's go grab Rebel. You got a guy who's a little bit raw because of where he came from. He's got good ability. He's got very, very good ability. And it's funny because a lot of his highlights are actually against better teams. And I think you just put him with a defensive minded coach. 6'4", 194. He's got great size. He's almost a perfect fit there. Broncos. Let's get this fucking ball rolling. Broncos, running back, wide receiver, linebacker, corner. I think JT's a good fit there. Boom. JT's perfect fit. He looks like a fucking Bronco running back. And it gives Bo Nix just another, weapon, or plus he takes off pressure off of the Nix a little bit. So you can get McMillan. You can put McMillan there. You can put Warren there. You can put a bunch of players with them. But JT's not a bad pick there. I would grab JT there. I do think I would not be surprised if he dropped out of the first round, not because of ability, just because of the running back class is so good. And I think most teams are not going to value that position. But yeah, JT here would make a big difference. And they're already competitive. Like, they're already pretty goddamn good. So, Pittsburgh, quarterback, defensive tackle, corner, running back, wide receiver. They're in a bad spot here. They should probably move up in the draft, to be blunt. Pittsburgh should probably move up. Oh, shit. Who the fuck's their quarterback? I mean, all the players they can really grab are gone. Williams will fit a need. I don't know if he's good. It's hard to tell based on his size and everything. I don't know. I need a fucking quarterback. They do need a running back. I think they can wait for one. Corner, I don't think there's any corners really left worth grabbing there. Oh, Benjamin Morrison. Yeah. Boom, done. Never mind. I'm sorry. He's really good. Benjamin Morrison. That's the guy right there. He's a good player. Why is he so low? Yeah, I don't understand why he's so low. He should be higher. In fact, I think Benjamin Morrison is going to be better in the NFL than Shevel, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. Either one of those two guys. I think one of these guys will be good. It's hard to tell. Not everybody's going to be a hit, so... let's move on. Chargers. Yeah, Pittsburgh has some dark days ahead of them. I ain't gonna lie. They got some dark days ahead of them. Defensive tackle, tight end, wide receiver. Tyler Warren drops right to him. McMillan, they can go. I don't think they will. Corner, center. Defensive tackle. Yeah, I would grab this guy here, Loveland. And I think that if they had the choice, they would grab him just specifically because of the coach. But I do think Loveland fits the team better. They're more of a physical team. And I think Loveland can do both. A little bit better than him. Tyler Warren's more of a catching the ball guy. Not that he's bad at blocking. I don't know. He's more like a playmaker and a receiver. I just think Colston can do both. Colston, Loveland. I think he's going to be really good in the NFL, actually. Packers. I don't know how productive he'll be, but I think he'll be a good NFL player. Green Bay, edge, corner, receiver, defensive tackle, linebacker. Linebacker? Jesus Christ. It's like they get linebackers every year. This guy I like a lot, actually. I like him a lot. My problem with him is he's either fucking in the backfield or he's getting blocked out of the play. That's my problem with him. That's why I think he's dropped a little bit. Yeah, I agree. He's got a high ceiling. I think that's a good fit for him there. I would grab Kenneth Grant if I'm the Packers. I just think I like players like Grant who have a high ceiling, who can come in and play right away, but are slightly like a little bit of a project. They don't have to be like the main character on the defense, but they can come in and kind of grow. along with a really good unit there. So I think that Grant would be a nice fit there. All right, the Vikings, safety, corner, guard, edge. Running back. Yeah, I'd grab him. I'm not a fan of Pierce. I think Pierce is too much of a score in here. I think he needs to go somewhere like a Houston, like next. If they need it, I don't think they need an edge, but like somewhere like that where they can be kind of like grown and groomed. Wouldn't be a bad pick with them. I just think the Vikings are they're one of those teams. They're already pretty good. I think they're in the position of grabbing players who need to fucking help them right away. And I do think Pierce is going to struggle a little bit at first. From what I've seen him, he's not as explosive I think as people think he is, and he doesn't look overly like dominating or anything. He's just a decent athlete. But Pierce actually might be someone who's good with it's like an outside linebacker or something. But see, I mean, he's kind of small. He's 6'5", 245. I don't know. He'd be good like on the Eagles or something like that. He can just kind of come in and contribute when he needs to and grow into the defense. All right, the Houston Texans here. Tackle, guard. I'm grabbing Zabel. He need a guard or center. He can play both. And he's really good. Great Zabel's really good. Don't be surprised if he goes in the first round. I'm putting him here, but don't be surprised if he goes about this area. Don't be surprised. All right, Rams, linebacker, corner, edge, tight end. This could be a spot for Pierce. They need a linebacker and an edge. Need a linebacker and an edge. I don't necessarily agree with this. Yeah, a little bit more weight. He needs to add about 15 more pounds, and he needs to get quicker. But if I'm the I think this is a good spot for him, actually. With Pierce. I mean, if he ends up being good, it'll be fucking spectacular for them, or as far as like good right off the bat. But I think Pierce would be a nice spot because of how they're building that defense, and they got good young players, and he can come in and kind of grow with that defense. And I think he can make a difference there. You can put him outside. I think you can put him anywhere with his athleticism. You can put him kind of anywhere. Kind of like a Carter or like a Walker. I think you can kind of put him just about anywhere. Not necessarily middle, but I think you could put him in like a coverage. He's fast enough. I just don't know if he's quick and explosive enough to come in and be an instant play difference maker. But I mean, if you got a guy on the other side who's I forget his name, a Verse, who commands kind of attention, he could do well there. He could do very well there. I don't hate Pierce at all. I just think he's more of a project than people think he is. All right, Baltimore, guard, corner, edge, linebacker, safety. Yeah, I like him a lot, actually. What linebacker do they need? I really like Mike Green a lot. I like Mike Green a lot. All right, let's just grab this guy here, Jackson. I don't know much about him, but from what I read of him, if they need a guard, just plug and play his ass right there. Edge, guard, corner, safety, receiver. Don't be surprised if they go receiver here. Don't be blown away, because I feel like they need another receiver. I think McMillan would be a nice pick here for them, because I think he can kind of grow in that receiver room with the receivers they have, and he's already on an elite team. So he can just kind of contribute where he needs to. He doesn't have to be the main guy. And I think eventually he'll be a really good player. I think he'll be a really good player eventually. He's just a little bit raw. He just raw to me. He just doesn't. The one thing spectacular he does is he's taller than the other guys. To me, I mean, he does everything else good. He doesn't do anything special to me. All right, edge, corner, linebacker, wide receiver, safety. I think they're in the business of grabbing players, again, who can come in and play right away. It's Garb Campbell. I think he's a plug and play. Put him right in. He's one of the best players in the draft. He's really good. I like him a lot. But he's more of a pure, like a old school linebacker, like a middle linebacker, you know, outside linebacker. He's not a pass rusher, so to speak. He's more of a, you know, like a, you know, not say he's this guy, but like a Patrick Willis or, you know, Luke Kuechly or something like that. He's more of a middle linebacker. All right, Buffalo Bills. Corner, defensive tackle, linebacker, edge, wide receiver. Okay, same old shit. I think they need a receiver, personally. I think they need to keep adding weapons so that Josh Allen doesn't fucking carry the team so much. And honestly, either one of these two guys you can grab. Either one of them, you'll be fine. I'm going to grab Egbuka because I think it'd be a little bit of a better fit, but you could put Burden there. They're both similar receiver. Burden's a little bit stockier and a little bit like tougher. Egbuka's a little smoother of a route runner, and I think he needs that. I had Buffalo getting last year getting the guy from the Chargers, McConkey. I thought Ladd McConkey would have been a perfect fit for the Bills, but they didn't get him. They decided to get the Keon Coleman, who's physically awesome, but I think they need a guy who can, you know, on 3rd and 6. Can run that drag or something like that, like flawlessly and get open. He's quick. I like him a lot. Chiefs, defensive tackle, guard, edge, tackle, offensive line. I don't know if there's any linemen here that are worth picking up. He's kind of caught my eye a little bit. He is kind of a plug and play player. Let's see what his weaknesses are. I don't have really evaluated his weaknesses too much. I've just seen highlights of him. High floor prospect. Yeah, I mean, let's grab him. He looks like one of those guys who can play tackle or guard. I think he's a better tackle, but he can play both. I just think, you know, Kansas City's in the business of plugging and playing guys. All right, edge, guard, corner, defensive tackle, offensive line. Everybody needs the same fucking thing. That's the problem. Everybody needs the same fucking thing. I'm grabbing my Mike Green. Mike Green here. I think he's a guy that would be perfect there. He can kind of grow and develop into that defense, and they'll have, in a year or two, we'll be like, how the fuck did Mike Green drop? But anyway, that's the draft. Mark my words, this guy's gonna be better than people think he is, and he's still a highly rated prospect. He's the #1 guy in the draft, in my opinion. I don't know if it's by far. This draft is weird to me. This is the draft I've had the hardest time really kind of picking players on, because I just think that it's the one we all know the least about, just because these players are. I just don't know if it's a strong first round or for a strong draft in general. I don't know if I'd be moving up and grabbing multiple picks and shit in this draft. I don't know if I'd be doing all that. But, you know, I think that players like this guy here will move up. Golden, I think, will move up. Carter, you could draft him anywhere here. Travis Hunter, draft him anywhere here. You can pick him first, whatever you want. I don't think the quarterbacks are worth picking overly high, but these teams are in spots where they're going to have to grab them. Jody Brown's gonna be good. He's gonna be one of those guys that they reach for him, but he's gonna end up being good. Stewart, I think, is a great fit there. You can put him anywhere from here down. Like I said, he's not gonna be a star right off the bat. Josh Simmons for the Dolphins, I think, I would be very happy with that. Williams dropping here is great. So McMillan here is perfect. I think McMillan going anywhere 20 and up is a reach. I would pick Igbokwe up here above McMillan or McMillan. To be honest, I just like McMillan with the Lions. Scorton's will be plug and play here. Grant plug and play. Zabel plug and play. But there's a lot of like kind of plug and play guys. I don't know if there's a lot of stars in this draft. Hunter could be one. I think Walker's going to be, when it's all said and done, have this most solid career out of all these guys. To be honest, I don't see him being bad at all. When I watch him, I don't see a weakness. I think he's the true pick him. Your team's instantly better guy. I think he's the one true guy. The running back, maybe. JT, if he goes to the right spot, will be the guy that makes a big difference. Rebel could be really good. Yeah, I think it's a pretty average draft, to be blunt. I think it's a pretty average draft. I don't think it's anything special. I think Mason Graham's an overachiever. He's not physically dominant. He just works harder than the guy in front of him. Who knows how that's going to work out in the NFL? Who fucking knows? But I think on the Raiders would be good next to Wilkins, because Wilkins is kind of a similar player. And Graham seems to be stronger than Wilkins. Like, he seems like a strong guy. He just doesn't seem to be physically dominant to me. And he's a smart player, so I think Graham's a good fit there. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the draft. If you guys have any more insight on some of these players I wasn't sure about, drop in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.